With all our hearts, we pray and ask. God bless Anambra. God bless the shining light that we bear. We're the only ones to make her brighter, the only ones to make her better,
It's really a pleasure to visit my brother today, Chief Obiano, the Executive Governor of Anambra State. This state is very special to me, and one of the states that came to the aid of the United Nations, following the bombing of the UN House in 2011. I mean, this state was so selfless that they gave us their governance lounge, where the UN was using for over 6 years. Even when we wanted to hand it over to them, the UN and its property, we could not renovate it to their taste. But we tried to do what we can do. And again, Obiano, Executive Governor of Anambra State, appreciated whatever we did. Willie is a champion of multilateralism. I must tell you guys. This is the man who believes in the world coming together to do positive changes. I am also a very close follower of development in Southeast Nigeria in general, and especially Anambra State in the Southeast. But today I will not stop, but first try to commend my friend and brother, the Executive Governor of Anambra State, and his administration for the positive, proactive, ongoing investment in infrastructure and human capital development with notable progress in education. I was drowned today with the progress in health, security, and also economic growth. Chief Willie is the first governor that actually employed technology in the management of security. And I know from our privileged conversation that his colleagues in other states were drawing on his experience on how technology can help address security issues. Also, there's something about the Executive Governor of Anambra, I must say to which you know. This man pushed for regional unity to advance development. How do I know this? Because I'm privileged to what they do. These are classified information. We don't talk about it always. But his effort has been great in addressing insecurity, and has also been commended in what he does. So on this particular mission, where I have all my colleagues here, with my senior colleagues, today we will decorate Chief Willie Obiano as a champion of sustainable development. And we will also, based on his recommendation, also decorate the Commissioner of Health for his work. And we will leave a plea for Simon for this brilliant job we have done. The purpose of our mission here was simple, trying to see how we can intensify partnership between the Anambra State government and the United Nations. We are looking at 3 strategic areas. One, to continue supporting to address the impact of COVID-19 to build back better, but also try to see how we can bring in UN global best practices to continue to support the macroeconomic transformation of this place. These are difficult times, but we are very happy that we are here to do that. I'm going to leave a copy of this sophisticated speech of mine with His Excellency, so that whoever succeeds in will always have it as a dossier. But I want to also put on record here that as His Excellency approached the end of his second term as governor, There are few accomplishments. We must not keep quiet, but also showcase and give us a scorecard for his achievement. One is infrastructure development with some strategic signature investment. And I went to one of the signature investments today, that is the airport. There's also the stadium, and there's also the International Convention Center. These to me are signature investments of Chief Willie Obiano that will never die. That whoever wants to kill it when he is gone, it will be something else, will not succeed. I know he has few more months to go, but I will tell him that please put in place laws that protect this investment. Make it difficult for whoever takes over to change those laws and ensure that they are sustained. This is very important, that laws are in place to sustain this type of, which I call them signature investments. They should be sustained, whether you are there or not. And just as we visited, my IOM colleague here, they already said they have resources to commit to install the Midas technology at the airport. Maybe should we just tell the government briefly what is Midas, because we use these jargons in the UN system. Just tell the government it's Midas technology.
Introduce yourself very well and tell them you.
So Midas is our migration information data analysis system. So if anyone has ever traveled out of Nigeria, when you're living at the international airport, they ask you to take your biometrics and they take a picture of you. So that is Midas. And IOM installs that at all our airports. And so to date, we've installed Midas at all our international airports in Nigeria. And we are committing to install the same technology here in Anambra.
You know, you spoke so fast. She's from Zimbabwe anyway, so they speak that fast. But I'm not sure they have your name. What's the name? Let me repeat it. Prestige. Prestige. Okay. Prestige. Morima. Morima.
So, as I said, that is one key critical scorecard for its administration. That is infrastructure development, signature investments. I know the governor has done a lot of other investments in Anambra, but these are signature investments that we in the United Nations recognize. And in my capacity, as something I normally don't talk about, as representative of the Secretary General in Nigeria, I recognize this investment. When I went to the airport today, I saw a foundation for economic transformation. Those foundations are critical for growth and development. I mean, standing at the airport today, I started asking myself, what gave the executive government this motivation? There's only one thing that came to my mind. He wanted to leave behind a legacy. So, the people of Anambra has to maintain that legacy. And I call on him also to start training Anambrans to manage that. Send them to training in various areas, empower them, get the human resources from Anambra, because those are the people that will sustain that investment. That will be my call. The second thing I really want to put on record is the investment of the executive governor on human capital development. I told you that today I was blown out of my normal horizon after we visited the health commissioner, listened to Asha, seeing what WHO was doing, and I saw the state-of-the-art early warning information system that are so critical for policy and decision making, real time. But I still remember those young women who were managing it. I really felt hope. She was also beautiful. Where are my gender advisors? investment, both by UNICEF and WHO, is commendable. And I must tell you that Anambra is ahead in some of these things we have seen today. And I even provoked WHO that Anambra has this, but we don't have this in the main hospital in Abuja. Maybe it's going to do something now to learn from it. But there's one signature investment of the executive governor that is really what I call his flagship program. It's very good for campaigning, by the way. And that is empowering Anambra communities to own and lead their own development aspiration. Empowering communities to decide what they understand by their own development, own it, manage it, execute it, and make sure that it happens. It's a flagship. I'm not supposed to talk politics, but he got 21 out of 21 the last time. But people know that. You are not going to get 20 over 20 if you don't empower the community, the people out there. Yeah? Because the people there are the ones that vote. And they have to feel development. If they don't feel development, they are not going to be. Don't send them contractors. Let them choose their contractors. Let them manage it. Let them own it. To me, that's the flagship investment of Obiano, and most of his colleagues in other states are copying that. I have had discussions with a lot of governors who ask me at times what innovations I see around, and I always tell them empowering communities to own and lead their own development aspiration. I say go check with Anambra. The other signature investment is security of the state and use of technology to enhance security. There are a few things I know. I'm not going to talk about the security, it's too much secret. But I know that there are some technological advancement that the executive governor did in the fight to address crime, banditry, and criminality. And those technologies are being replicated in other states as I speak. But we don't need to talk about that at all. We just leave it at that. The fifth is issues of transparency, accountability, and fiscal sustainability. You can tell me anything you want to tell me about the executive governor, but what I've seen here is, over the years, monitoring closely what happens in Anambra, I see transparency, accountability, and fiscal sustainability. The last on the scorecard I have is agricultural development. Diversification, especially rice production, ranching. Now I know that Anambra is self-sufficient in rice production. These are creative ways of investing. But I want to leave today with one thing for the people of Anambra and for this area, what I have read in over 4 years and what I've been able to study. And I would want to encourage you and your citizens to assert yourselves, take a leadership position in the industrialization of this nation as we speak, and then reap the benefits of the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. Invest in your SMEs and the MSEs. These are going to be the triangles of growth and prosperity in Africa. I would love to see Anambra does that. The other part of my lectures are too difficult. I'm not going to go into it. And the only thing normally I give we give an overview of the development platform of the country. We also identify risk we feel the country is facing. And we have 5 of those risks that are so critical. Yeah? But the full speech we give him to His Excellency can discuss. But there are serious concerns in the country today of social cohesion, equality, and non-discrimination. Second, issues of internal security. I don't need to talk about that. Economic stability. The major concern. You have a population growing at 3.2%, and your economy growing at 0.51%. Anybody who knows some common sense will start telling you we are burning more children into poverty because our economy is not as growing as our population.
Let them know it's national, not Anambra.
Not another. There are also issues of justice and rule of law. Also serious concerns of displacement and migration. There are several things. The other details are in my speech. I'm not going to give you. I will leave this with him. We've also tried to analyze what the UN system is doing in Anambra, but you have heard a lot about it. I'm not going to waste our time on that. On COVID-19, we did something in the UN that I remain extremely proud of. We came together, we launched what we call a one UN response. We established a basket fund. We were able to mobilize $73 million. And I want to inform His Excellency that 40% of all the medical supplies for the COVID-19 response was funded from the UN basket fund. And I hope Anambra received their good share. But the Commissioner of Health told me today they did, so I'm happy about that. Normally when you come on this mission, there are certain suggestions we leave for priority areas of investment. The details I'm not going to go into, since I'm going to give him as a confidential document. But one of the areas we suggest for continuation of priority investment is security in Anambra, with a focus of a whole of society and whole of government approach. And I also call on His Excellency to create an enabling environment for peace and security that is so critical, and continue to fund local government level peace and security architectures, which are critical to ensure real-time early warning and response structures, dialogue and mediation processes, and working in synergy with security agencies. The second thing is living with and managing the COVID-19 pandemic. This COVID is going to be with us for a long time to come. The scientists are clear. The virus is mutating. When we say mutating, it changes. It becomes more potent as it stays in the community with us. And the only thing the scientists are advising, the WHOs and others, is vaccination, vaccination, vaccination. And they are saying that we have to vaccinate 70% of our population before ever we can talk about herd immunity. This is difficult, looking at issues of vaccine nationalism. Our bigger brothers told us that their people are more important than our poor people in the sub-Saharan Africa. We are still struggling to get the vaccines. But these are difficult times. So we have to continue to manage and live with COVID-19. And we have to do that by vaccination. And we have to continue to comply with the non-pharmaceutical measures. Wearing masks, social distancing, etc. As is all known to all of you. Restructure and reform the health state institutions. We've talked a lot about that. The details you will see there. But also there's something about COVID. We are all busy with COVID. We are trying to end, of course, the Sustainable Development Goals, which is our shared vision and transformative agenda to end poverty and also improve on our planet, etc. There are details on that. Investing in young people. I will not end without talking about that. They are the future of Anambra. And we must find a way to invest in young people. It's difficult, but we must continue doing it. There are details on that. We are launching major programs with the government of Nigeria. We've launched what we call the Jubilee Fellowship Program, that we place 20,000 NYSC graduates into private sector and public sector, where they will be mentoring for 1 year. They will receive a relatively decent stipend of $250 while they are being mentored for 1 year. And the brilliant ones will also get gainful employment in those private sectors or private public sectors. This is supposed to benefit the 6 geopolitical zones. And of course, this area should also benefit from that. We'll keep on giving you information, especially the selection of those brilliant graduates. Human rights and gender, there's a lot people have done in Anambra. The details are there. And they have demonstrated a lot in putting in frameworks for protection and promotion of human rights, which is also what? Noting domestication of the Child Rights Act, the Administration of Criminal Justice Act, and the Discrimination Against Persons with Disabilities. These are areas you've done your best, and we urge you to step up the process of establishing a commission for persons with disability to ensure that implementation is done. Climate change and environmental issues. Today, one of your staff showed me the environmental degradation as a result of erosion, especially gully erosion has impact. Not to talk about the periodic floods that ravage Anambra. So the issues of environmental degradation and management are very critical and something I encourage you people to look at carefully. I've come up with some recommendations. Agricultural development and economic diversification, this is something people are already on track. Whatever we thought that people have to look at is here. Education and child rights are also areas. So these are comprehensive speech. Normally this speech takes about 20 minutes, but I'm not going to do that today. I have paraphrased it to the best of my capability. And I would like to hand over officially to the governor a copy of that speech. And we also brought with us the SDGs in Igbo. So I will hand over this, and then we will decorate the governor, and then the governor will turn to decorate the Minister of Health, Commissioner of Health, and so this, I want on behalf of my team, the UN country team, to officially hand over this document. Some of your states call it the presidential speech. How do they call it? State of the Nation address. Call to action. Here, and they call it that. So long as they don't have a gap. These are the 17 goals of the sustainable development that will decorate His Excellency. This makes him a champion. And you have to continue holding him accountable to deliver on the 17 goals for you. Commissioner for Health.
Anambra State, on behalf of the United Nations, on behalf of my colleague, the WHO, and other UN agencies that are not present, I would like to confer to you this recognition as a champion of SDG, particularly SDG 3, as we have decided in the Global Action Plan for healthy life and well-being for all. We have demonstrated through the rollout of the health insurance scheme with determination to achieve universal health coverage by addressing one of the critical challenges to health in the state. The very, very high out-of-pocket expenditure that is now really on track thanks to the health insurance scheme and the mobile insurance that was planned today. Congratulations, but this medal also signifies mutual accountability. The community will hold you accountable, but also you will hold us accountable for our support to this state achieving its target in health and other SDGs. Congratulations.
So we hand over the government now. We have left 2 pins for others to champion. The Commissioner of President, Education, and Simon. So the governor will decorate them all with
It is my belief that my successor will continue all these great strides, even far better than myself. Before I mention the field I'm talking about, I want to show you the pedigree in the macro economic areas. As a governor of Central Bank, he has better reach than myself. I was only the number 2 man in the commercial bank. So I'm related to the grassroots. But he has the people that can bring money and make the guys trading in the Onitsha market. If you've been trading with 100,000, you get 300,000. He has that reach. And by God's grace, I'll hand over to Professor Chukuma Soludo. And that will see the trajectory you just see now shoot up. We don't want, look at the other guys that are, who is there? Nobody is there. Who is there? Who went in there more school side? I built this airport without borrowing a kobo. How can they configure that? I pay salaries as I went due, despite challenges. How would they configure that? People are beginning to forget some of our early legacies. The 3 flyovers you see today in Oka, they were not there before. 9 months. Longest bridge in Southeast that links from Aguleri to the oil producing area. Aglo Lake, my predecessor started it very skeletal, foundation level, that's where it was. Onitsha shopping mall. Then, of course, now the airport super standard, the first airport in the world. Anytime you have your internet, try and Google and see where we are. The length of our airport, if you add the 2 recess areas, is 5.7. That's the longest airport in the world. Check. The only one close to it is in China. If you are Googling now, Google and see it. 5.4. Just check. You just see. I don't blame my son. When you ask him some questions, say ask Google. It wasn't there in our time. If you ask a difficult question, you look at the mom, ask Google. So Google has all the answers. All they are telling you are correct statements. If you see what you saw today, they are super made to last. I don't build things just to build. I build things to last. That's my nature and that's my structure. Starting from my family, my wife is the best. Kevin the busy man. And when we really now, okay, better. And now that player in Abata. Wouldn't rap player in America. Of your lane, the capacity lake hotel. Who will do a good manaka? Are they very important?
Sure.
This is not a political night. This is World Bank and the United Nations. These are the people that are here. So we have to recognize their presence and thank them for the patience they had to go through. You saw the way we were going through. I wish you guys came when I was building that airport. You cannot believe it will happen. Because the hills, it was there, 5. We have to eat those hills, eat them, then divert the water until we got this level land. It wasn't easy, but God is with us. and we delivered it. And very soon, it will be commissioned. When I arrived, I landed there twice. I landed when I arrived from America, Lagos to that place, 45 minutes. But the pilot told me he would do it next time in 35 minutes. Then from Abuja, I landed there in 38 minutes. You can't imagine and incidentally I was in my country home, so it took me another 10 minutes to get home. You can imagine if I landed 40 minutes in Asaba, then negotiate those difficult challenges, then it will be forever. So what we are doing for our people, they will soon see. This one is not even a colonist. You see, it will happen, and you all will benefit from this, whether I'm there or not, Look, I can't wait to go. I'm very tired. Very tired. Adma Solo Boom Kiabe, Inde Boom Kababe, House of Assembly Boom Kababe. This is a very thankless job. When I see people trying to run for governor, I laugh at them. If they want to be the kind of governor I am,